Is it time to create something different with your life and your body? Right Body for You will inspire you and invite you to a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Ready? Let's go. Here's your host, Donnielle.
Welcome to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Thank you for joining me now in the past, in the present, or in the future. I don't know how you guys do out there, how you I've already listened to this because you know what? You guys are magic. Speaking of magic, I am just finishing up a class I did in Rome, Italy, and oh my gosh. Speaking of time not being real, watch that stuff bleed in and out. It's really interesting. If you guys have never been to Rome, it's really interesting to see these things bleed in and out, time bleed in and out, and entities and history, and it's a lot of fun. So for those of you who may not have ever heard from me and stumbling onto my radio show, let me tell you a little bit. My name is Donnielle. I have been actually working with bodies since I was 12, I think. No, I'm not Doogie Howser, which is an American TV show about a brilliant guy who became a doctor at like 14. No, it's not. I'm not Doogie Howser. It's just that my mom was a nutritionist. And so she did health talk radio shows, and I was at the radio station every Saturday watching her, helping her run her radio show, answering phones, talking to the guests, and listening, right? Always listening. And then I also helped her with seminars and things like that, you know. So my education has been very interesting about bodies. And here's the thing. It's like, I had all this education about bodies, and I didn't like that I had a body. It was truly the weak spot of my life, the thing that when I woke up, I was like, body. You know, it wasn't even like, I have to do something else today, or to-do list, you know, like some people do. It's like, body. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be here. It was just like, I didn't want to be here with this body. Oh, my gosh, are you kidding me? And so my journey from body to doing a show called Right Body for You and doing workshops all over the world called Right Body for You, including the one I just did in Edmonton, Canada, and the one in Rome, Italy. Then I do one next month in Brisbane, Australia. Is actually hilarious. And you know, the Inspired Choices Network owner. There we go. She also hosts a show called Inspired Choices Network, so you can see where I might get my wires crossed. Christy McIver interviewed me, kind of talking about who the heck is Donnielle, and it is kind of funny some of the things that came up about the past and what it was like, and really my journey to going, yay, bodies, what else? And then going all over the world to facilitate bodies and people with their bodies and enjoying their bodies, and that what if bodies aren't wrong, but what if they can be a contribution? And Christine's in the chat room with me. She said, yeah, that was a real eye-opener. For me, too. She asked me questions where I was like, oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Which I've forgotten about that again. Maybe I should listen as well. Anyways, it's in the archives. Please do check it out. But even though I spent all those years with my mom, a nutritionist, and homeopaths and herbalists and DOs and you name it, I know it. I really don't think I really started to enjoy my body until I started taking Access Consciousness and Right Body for You classes. And that's when everything really began to shift and change. And I got to see that my body could be a contribution, not just something I had to maintain or take care of, or something just to be judged. You know, how many of us just like to judge our body? And so this is a lot of the stuff we get to talk about during the Right Body for You radio show, as well as this private sessions, or as well as the workshops, you know, that I just get to do, is what really is the body for? What's it about? What is it supposed to look like? What is it not supposed to look like? What's its role? What's its job? And what else is actually possible with it? Can it be healed? Can it be changed? And yes, 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 and more. We're still discovering a lot of all of these things. So these are some of the things we get to explore in Right Body for You, the radio show as well. So today we're talking about how does my body feel about my feelings? And yes, this is a little tongue-in-cheek play on words, because if you've listened to anything I've ever done, you know I like to laugh and have a humor about things. And so it's like, well, okay, so how does my body feel about my feelings? Okay. I'm so sad, I'm so angry, I'm so frazzled, I'm so frustrated, I'm so, Well, let me ask you a question. Who feels you or your body? What are feelings actually? And when we feel, what occurs with our bodies? Is it possible to move beyond feelings, and what is beyond feelings? And let me say this straight out, right at the beginning. I am not saying that, well, because I know people think, as soon as I say it's like, well, what's beyond feelings? It's like, you want me to become a cold, mean, uncaring, selfish, cold-hearted, might as well be dead, ice in my veins person. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What all of these shows and classes and workshops and sessions are about is really getting you to the place where you acknowledge the energy behind everything. Because the original language is energy. And so you speak energy. You may speak English as well as Italian or French and Hebrew or whatever else. Or Canadian even. I mean, heavens, I just spent 10 days in Canada. I now speak Canadian. But no matter what other verbal language you speak, you do speak energy, and your body speaks energy. And so when I'm asking you what is beyond feelings, it's not that I'm asking you to not care. And it's not that I'm asking you to not be giving or nurturing. Quite the opposite. I am asking you to do those things, but just to be clear, the energy you're pulling up when you're talking about the different things, okay? So when I first said, who feels you or your body? Well, if you look at the definitions of feeling, okay, because as you like to know, I like to look up the words so we can actually start recognizing the energy behind these things. The definition of feeling, it says, look at root word feel, feel is active touching, sense of touch. Okay? Is not, I'm so sad, I'm so angry, I'm so frazzled, I'm frustrated, it's not all of those. Feeling is heat, caress, physical sensations. If I walked up and slapped you, that would be a feeling on your body. Because look at that. I know this is not. Walked up. Who feels that? Do you think, or do you feel that? Your body feels that. Because, let me ask you a question. Are you your body, or is your body are you? Okay? Are you an infinite being? Have you been, are you, will you be? Okay? Yeah. I don't care if it's you're following some kind of religion with a pre-existence, or if you are if you are talking about past lives or anything like that, okay? What you want to look at is, are you an infinite being? Have you been? Are you will be? Even atheists will look at that. It's like, we come from nothing, we go back to nothing. Well, it's still something, right? And so it's not, we are an infinite being. Whether you call it soul, spirit, whatever word you want to associate with it, okay? So do this little activity with me, just to help provide a little bit of clarity, okay? So close your eyes unless you're driving. I always like to do that disclaimer on the radio show in case you guys are actually listening to the podcast, because, safety first. Close your eyes unless you're driving. Find the outside edges of you, the infinite being. Find the outside edges of you, the body. Find the outside edges of you, the body. Can you find your toes? Can you find your elbows? Can you find your hair? Can you find, the fingernails? Yeah, you can find the outside edges of your body. Okay? So now find the outside edges of you, the infinite being. Are you outside in the street? Are you here in my office with me? Are you kind of everywhere you look? Yeah. You're kind of everywhere you look. And so when you do that, this is not to create a sense of separation. What this does is to help you create that awareness of you, the infinite being, and then you or your body, really. Okay? Like I said, not from a sense of separation, but just from a awareness of information and where it's coming from and what affects what. Because, like I said, so right now you have that sense of you, the infinite being, in your body, right? You or your body. And so right now, if somebody walked up and smacked you, slapped you in your face, do you, the infinite being, feel that? Or does your body feel that? Yeah. Your body feels that. I have yet to be able to slap an infinite being. I mean, wouldn't that be a treat? Because really, it's the infinite being that usually needs to be, or, should be slapped, and not the body. And the body's like, hey, thanks a lot. Slap my infinite being. Why don't you? Not me. But I have yet to be able to slap an infinite being, and that would be a cute trick. If anybody actually ever slaps an infinite being, let me know. It'd be fantastic. Let me know how it goes. But in the meantime, yes, it's our body that feels the slap, the heat, the hug, the sex, the caress, the heat, the cold, the temperature changes, all of that kind of stuff. These are things your body feels. You do not feel. You, the infinite being, do not feel. You perceive, you receive, and we try our darndest to emote, meaning emotions, okay? Those things that we're talking about, it's like, oh, I'm so sad, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. Those are all things we try to emote, or emotions, and that's feelings, okay? So we misidentify and misapply these things as feelings, and then our body goes, you want me to do what? Okay? So we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a lot about feelings versus emotions and what goes on with the body when you try to feel anger, feel sadness, instead of being the emotion of sadness or anger, or what you perceive as anger. And what the heck is perceiving anyways? Well, we will discuss all of that and more when we come back. This is Donnielle. You are listening to Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle, a.k.a. the voice inside your head sometimes. Many times. Oftentimes. If you've never joined us live in the chat room, please do sometime. You just go to Inspired Choices Network on the top. It says chat room, and you put in your name. And you join us, and we have fun. You can ask questions. We laugh. You can talk to each other. Usually my chat rooms are filled with smart aleck comments, which is one of the many reasons I usually come back from my commercial breaks laughing, is because often during the commercial breaks is when I have a chance to read the chat room, and it's often quite funny. So I do encourage you to join us in the chat room for my show or any of the shows on Inspired Choices Network. We all have a good time. And I would also, speaking of good time, I would also really like to invite you guys to, if you're enjoying the radio show, do check out one of the many classes I do all over the world. I have so much fun with them. One of the main ones I do is the Right Body for You 2.5-day workshop, where we go so into depth with all of these tools, you guys. Really talking about even like your individual cases, but we talk about money and food, money and other bodies. We talk about bodies and money, bodies and food, bodies and the energy behind the words you're using, how you're creating it, judgment, pain. Yes, we can talk about money and sex, whatever else comes up. We really have a good time talking about these things. And I keep emphasizing the good time is because we do tend to have, yes, there's always some serious moments, but we laugh and we be a light energy that actually allows things to change. It's not that we're taking things lightly or making fun of it, quite the opposite. We're very aware and very present with the energies of the bodies while doing the Right Body for You class and talking about it. But we don't take it so seriously that we don't allow it to change. Okay, so there's a line. It's like we're serious with it. We're present with it. We look at the energy. We ask questions, but we don't solidify it. We don't take it so seriously that it solidifies. There's one thing I've been told more often than anything in my classes is that just the space that gets created in these Right Body for You workshops with the fun, the light, the laughter, actually allows people to shift and change things with their bodies that they hadn't before, because we take away the serious solidification of it, and we step into the awareness of it. So please do consider checking it out. I have another one coming up in Brisbane, Australia in July. We're looking at doing another one in North America in September, right before the Right Body for You Tools in Action, which is the first ever kind of an upper level Right Body for You. I don't know if it's upper level, but it has a prereq. So, whatever that means, whatever that equates. It's the prereq is doing a Right Body for You 2.5-day workshop. And what we're doing in September is 30 of us are going to New Orleans. And we're going to put the tools in action, just like the title suggests. And the slogan is, "This isn't a classroom, this is life." Because instead of sitting around in a hotel venue and talking about the tools, showing examples, we're going to get out into the French Quarter. And I've devised a bunch of activities that bring the manual from a Right Body for You workshop to life. So we'll be doing tours, some eating, talking about your body and food, and then a fine dining experience, talking about bodies and money and getting comfortable with that. And earth, we're going to be out in a park. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to take over the French Quarter, 30 of us running around. I can only imagine. And there is only 30 allowed in this class. There is a cap, because I do want it as an intimate experience. Because part of it is, like, again, it's a class in Edmonton, Canada I just did. One of the ladies is like, "Can I just put you in my pocket and take you everywhere so I can get, clarity on this," right? And so that's kind of how it is, because I get to be there to talk you, ask questions, help you go various places while we're doing real-time experiences. So we're going to be doing that. I'm very excited. And this weekend, if you feel like being in Perth, Australia, I'm doing a 3-day Access Consciousness 3-day body class. So come check that out. 3 days of giving and receiving these body processes that Access has. It's pretty freaking amazing. So I'm doing one in Perth, Australia. And then at the end of June, I'm doing one in Kansas City. Come play in Kansas City. I've never been there, but my body lights up every time I think about it. So come play. And if you do want a private session, I can do those anywhere in the world. You have computer, phone, Skype, we can hook it up. So if you feel like doing that, do check it out. You go to my website, Donnielle.com, for a lot of information on that. So check it out. Please do. So today we're talking about, how does my body feel about my feelings? Or I should say, how does my body feel what I try to feel? Because, in the first segment we were talking about how you don't feel, your body feels. You emote, you perceive, and we try to tell our body that those are feelings, okay? We look at the definition of feel, which is the act of touching, a sense of touch. And so you get that. It's a very tactile thing. So when we talk about feelings, it's more of the heat, temperature changes, right? Cold, a caressing, a physical sensation of some sort. Water against your skin is, that's a feeling. Okay, you are feeling it. It's an act of feeling, a touching or sense of touch. Okay, and so when we say things like I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm stressed, I'm sad, and these are feelings, and you ask your body like, okay, I am so angry, and your body goes, how do I feel anger? How do I feel anger? Is it like when I feel heat? Is it like when I feel cold? Heat. Okay. Well, let's try heat. Maybe that's how the body feels anger. Okay, I'll try that. And we get locked into this miscommunication and misunderstanding with our body because we keep asking our body to feel our emotions or feel what we perceive, and it's like, I don't get it. I'll try. Here we go. Because your body's pretty much up for anything, right? It has no point of view, so it's like, all right, sure, we can try that, whatever. And so we get a miscommunication. It gets confused, and it can actually solidify and contract, okay? And so this is a lot where miscommunication occurs because, with Right Body for You workshop or shows, I talk a lot about communication with the body. As a matter of fact, that's what my next book is on, is just communication with the body. And recognizing these places where miscommunication comes up with your body simply because of things like this, a point of view, or you're asking your body to do something it can't, like feel anger. It can't perceive anger in somebody else, and it still perceives it different than we do, and it gives us the information, okay? But it can't feel it. It can feel the energy around the anger, or how you have ever been around somebody who's angry and literally the air in the room changes? Yeah, the energy is changing. And your body can feel that and let us know that information. It can feel the change in the energy, but it can't feel anger. Okay? So, again, this is where some of the places of miscommunication with your body occurs. All right. So, what you as an infinite being do, remember, because we went through that activity earlier, you are not your body, body's not you. You're an infinite being, your body is your body. You perceive, and what we try to do and try to make really valuable in this reality is emotion. Emotion. Did you know, have you emoted today? Even like emojis, emoticons, right? It's like it's right out there, but we don't really pay attention to the difference of it. We're not calling them feelicons. We're calling emojis, right? So it's right out there, which is one of the things I really love about doing the radio show or classes or sessions, is to really help us see the other side of things. Even things that are like right in front of our face. It's like, oh, emojis. I'm, the sad, winky, bubbly, angry, drowsy. They call those emojis because we emote. And one of the things, honestly, I love most about Access Consciousness and Right Body for You is that it helps us become aware by asking questions. And so it's like if we're willing to see the other side of things, we see so many things. In Access, we talk about if you have no point of view, you see all points of view. Well, for this is kind of an interesting concept because it's like, oh, I have all these feelings. And then the second we do send a text, we go for emojis. Why? Because they're emotions, not feelings. And so if you're not having a fixed point of view about things, you can actually look at that and go, emojis. Oh, because they're emotions, not feelings. Aren't I so cute? And it kind of starts playing with that. So, side note, hashtag energy's bitch. I go where it tells me to do. But just really, that's one of the blessings and fun things about asking questions is you start to see things that sometimes are right in your face. Like they're called emojis for emotions, not feelingsies for feelings. But we try to function from our feelings when they're quite actually emotions, okay? And then again, that's where miscommunication with our body comes in because we're asking our body to feel emotions. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. I can tell you if I'm hot, tell you if I'm cold. I can tell you if somebody else is touching me, but I can tell you how it is when they touch me. And I can tell you if we're in a bath. I can tell you if it's raining. I can tell you if it's windy too. Just to let you know. I can tell you all those things. But I don't know how to feel emotions. Okay. So I looked at the definition of emotion, because that's what I like to do. And the definition of emotion is a moving, stirring agitation, parentheses, social, which really kind of explains music and implants, because we talk about that a lot in the bars. But I actually need to get to a commercial break. I was on the wrong page and I didn't see my cues. And so we are going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about this interesting definition of emotion, okay? This is Right Body for You. You're listening to your host, Donnielle. We're on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. Accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Thank you for joining me today, talking about how does my body feel about my feelings? Or how does my body feel about me trying to make it feel my emotions? Okay? Because right before the break, we were talking about the difference between feeling and emotion. Emotion definition is, feeling definition is active touching, sense of touch, right? Emotion, a social, moving, stirring agitation. And really, that explains so much about music and implants. Because music is designed to have us emote things. We talk about, it makes me feel, but it doesn't actually make you emote. It is actually designed to trigger these things. So a moving, stirring agitation. So it explains music and implants and why in Access Consciousness we have this thing called the bars, Access the bars, and it's the very first hands-on body process. And in there it talks about don't listen to music when you are having your bars run because it fires off implants, shuts down implants, and so these thought, feelings, and emotions that we are storing in our body, it doesn't allow that to shift and change. So I thought that was interesting. But you notice in the emotion definition, there's nowhere of a physical sensation, okay? So this is why I'm asking you to look at the difference between feeling and emotion. Feeling is that touch, tactile, and emotion is moving, stirring, agitation. But I love that agitation is a part of emotion because I get it, agitated, as we use it every day, is like, I'm so agitated. Well, agitated just means that things are moving. it's stirring, like the previous word in the definition, agitated, meaning, when you talk about it in science, when molecules are agitated, it doesn't mean they're like upset and angry and like irritated, which is what we usually put with agitation. It just means they're moving, which I find hilarious. And so a social moving during agitation just means that things are moving, the energy's moving, our emotions are moving, or what we're perceiving moving. So it's that sort of agitation, but it does bring up the other agitation. So I find that funny. Like boiling water. You guys get that, right? You agitate the molecules to get the water boiling. Okay, agitation. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, whoever thought of that and sent it at me. I appreciate that. I really appreciate people helping me input sometimes when I don't have the words. Okay, so really what's even beyond emotions, okay? One of my favorite questions I've been using a lot lately, okay, it has changed so much for me, is if I had no feelings about this, what would I become aware of? Because what I became aware of for myself is oftentimes I was so busy or overwhelmed with my feelings or emotions, I stopped receiving information, awareness, possibilities, what would it take to create a change, the truth, or really what else was going on. And this is what I was using my feelings and emotions for. And so I've been asking this question. So I had no feelings about this, what would I become aware of? And what was really fun is, so I did this recently at a, I work with Access Consciousness, and every once in a while I get to run audio for classes or work on the video streaming team and things like that. So I was running audio for Gary's advanced body class, right? Gary Douglas, founder of Access, his advanced body class. And I had feelings, first off, about, we were doing a 7 o'clock class, and we could start setting up at 4. Normally we set up like the night before, and I have the whole night to set up, no problem. And I set up audio pretty well and quickly. I've been doing it for years. But I had a feeling or a judgment, a point of view, right, that if I set up the audio right before class, if anything goes wrong, I'm not going to know how to fix it. And so, of course, I was frustrated from that. So, of course, I had a problem because, feelings. I had a point of view. And I think I did a show recently on the point of view creates reality, or I'm going to do one on that. Anyways, stay tuned. Check the archive. And so the technician from the hotel was there helping me, okay? And then, I got over that, no problem. And everything started working, and I still had like 30 minutes before the class started. So I'm like, okay, I checked and double checked because I'm completely OCD and anal, and I checked, and everything was working, all the mics were working, it's all good. I'm like, okay, good. So we go into the start of this class. Somebody stands up to the first standing mic, which is, instead of a handhold, it's attached to a tripod, and the mic doesn't work. And I just go into so many feelings. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm letting Gary down. I'm embarrassed. I'm a little nauseous. I'm upset. I'm nervous. All of these things started coming up. So they handed the person to ask a question, a handheld mic, and it started working, no problem. And so I was looking for wires. I'm like, it was working 10 minutes ago. Why is it not working now? And all these feelings and emotions started coming up. So I was looking for wires, nothing's unplugged. I'm like, oh my gosh, did it just shut down? What happened? And then somebody asked another question with another handheld mic, and that wasn't working. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Is this like a cascade failure? What? And again, all of these feelings and emotions, upset, angry, embarrassed, anxious, panicky, like I said, afraid to let Gary down, all these kind of things, right? And I just went, okay, wait. Yeah, sometimes I do tell myself like that, wait. I'm like, okay, wait. If I had no feelings about this, if I wasn't so overwhelmed with my feelings, what would I become aware of? and then using that as verbal processing. I'm like, you know, right, wrong, good, bad, but fucking nice, which boys me on. And instantly, I got an image of the technician kneeling in front of my, or to the side of my audio boards, okay? And we actually connect two of them so they work as one. It's two boards we hook together to work as one. And so as soon as I, like, okay, if I had no feelings about this, what would I become aware of? Hot pocket. Instantly get an image of the technician who was trying to, quote unquote, help me, kneeling to the side in front of my boards. I'm like, wait a minute. So I go over there, and I instantly see that he had changed a wire that made, instead of the two boards hooked together, separated the two boards. And so all the microphones on the bottom board became inactive. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I just, I went, put the cord back to where it was, and instantly everything started working again. Okay. So I give this example as like, oh, well, you're just problem solving. No. I was functioning first from my feelings, my emotions of embarrassment, upset, anxious, don't want to let Gary down, all of that kind of stuff. I was so overwhelmed. And how many times do we try to do overwhelm, right? I was so overwhelmed with my feelings, I stopped receiving information, which that's the beauty part of asking questions, is receiving the information. So even though I was saying, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Please tell me, equipment, what's going on? What's going on? I was so overwhelmed with my feelings. I made a new word. With my feelings and emotions, that I wasn't actually receiving the information. Even though the computer equipment was telling me what was going on, I wasn't willing to receive the information. So it's like, how much receiving, whether it's information or money or offers or, just anything, receiving anything from people, places, things, the universe, because we're overwhelmed into our feelings and emotions, or feelings. I mean, the new word, feelings. We're so overwhelmed with our feelings, yes, our emotions and our feelings, okay? And so if you're willing to ask this question, if I had no feelings or emotions about this, what would I become aware of? What that does is it allows you to step out from those feelings and emotions and to really start to become aware of what's actually going on, or what information is actually trying to be transmitted to you already, okay? So please do try that. We're going to go to a quick little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, feelings, emotions, and bodies, and questions. I know. Shocking revelation. I hope you were sitting down while I talked to you about that. All right. You are listening to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. We are on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Today we're talking about how does my feeling feel about my feelings, or when I try to feel, or when I try to get my body to feel my emotions. Because, we've talked a lot today about the difference in emotions and feelings, the physical versus the moving, the stirring, things like that, the agitation of it all. And we coined a new word, feelings. Instead of feelings and emotions, it's the feelings. And what's really beyond that, and what goes on with your body when that kind of stuff happens. When we try to do that, where how miscommunication can actually come up. So what I have suggested that you do is use the question: if I had no feelings or emotions about this, what would I become aware of? Because oftentimes we so enjoy our feelings and emotions because that's how we're supposed to be. When I asked at the beginning of the show, and I'm like, hey, what's beyond feelings? I know a lot of people are like, oh, what, you want me to be a cold-hearted witch? You want me to not care? It's like, no, actually quite the opposite. When you don't function from those feelings and emotions, you'll start to become aware of what's required. And you can actually care more. You can actually give more. You can contribute more if you're not doing it from the feelings or emotions of it. You're doing it from the awareness and what's actually required to change the life and change the world. Okay? Because one more thing about this, you as a infinite being, you perceive. Okay, we try to emote, we try to feel, but what's really going on is you perceive things, which means you become aware of the energy shifting and changing, that agitation, shall we say, of the energy. And we talked earlier about agitation of being the scientific usage of it. And so you perceive things. Somebody moves in a room next door and it moves the energy in the air, and you perceive it here. And yet we try to call those things feelings or emotions. And that's where we start to get also miscommunication, not just with our body, but with the universe itself and ourselves. And so, somebody's angry. They're so angry, they're, warping the very energy around them. And you perceive this. You perceive the shift and the change in the energy fields, the energy that we all be, the oneness, consciousness. And you try to put a feeling or emotion to it. And it is such a base element of what that awareness and perception of energy truly is. And so this is why I'm asking, it's like, what's beyond feeling and emotion? Not to get you to be a cold-hearted bitch. No. But to actually get you to be aware of, perceive everything you actually do perceive and are aware of. Because, like I said, to perceive and be aware of the energy as it shifts and changes, moves all around us, is so different than feeling it or emoting it. Because that is so little percentage of what actually goes on out there with the energy when we perceive things, when we're aware of things. And then we try to emote it down or feel it down or kneel it down. And we solidify it. We limit it. We solidify us. We limit us, our bodies. And we start to function from a smaller percentage of what and who we be. So, it's like, they tell us in science that we only use 10% capacity of our brain, or maybe we're up to 12, or, something like that, percent capacity of our brain. Well, what's interesting is when we do this feeling and emotion, we actually use, probably 5% of what we perceive, what we become aware of, what we actually know, okay? So feelings and emotions, yes, it helps you to be connect to this reality, and isn't that so valuable? But when we do feelings and emotions, we also get into this overwhelm. We can stop receiving and perceiving information, okay? So really look at that. When you're doing feelings and emotions from that place, you are literally functioning from about 5% of what you perceive, what you know out in the world, for you, for other people, for other things. And so when I'm asking you what is beyond feelings and emotions, this is what I'm talking about. Not being a cold-hearted bitch, but literally just perceiving and knowing everything that you do already perceive and know. And what if functioning from only 5% of what we perceive and know, and asking our body to feel and know, asking our body to feel and emote, might that not maybe cause some limitations in our bodies as well that can show up as so many different things, like inability to move, disease, so many things, even fat, yes. And so really, what else is possible when we move beyond feelings and emotions and into awareness, into perceiving, into receiving? And the people I know who feel less, quote unquote, feel less, emote less, they actually are some of the most caring, generous, contributory, generative people I know in the world. So what if your feelings and emotions are not what is giving you the ability to know what somebody requires and how you feel about it? Well, what if it's actually limiting what you can perceive and contribute to another? Because it kind of is, okay? So what is beyond thought, feelings, and emotions? Oh, everything. Everything you can perceive, everything you know, and acknowledging it, because you already know it. You already perceive it, and you do receive it. When you acknowledge it, you feel better, and your body feels better, and the world changes around you. I mean, really, how does it get any better than that? So check out my website, please, Donnielle.com, Donnielle. You can find out about upcoming classes all over the world, literally. I have a very busy summer, and I hope to see you around there somewhere. You can find out about the Right Body for You tools in action. Oh, can't wait to see this. We already have over 20 people signed up. So if you'd like to join us, please do get your name in really soon and secure your position, okay? And also on my website, Donnielle.com, if you want a private session, I did a lot of them in Canada, and I had so much fun with them. This is a great way to get a hold of me. We can set up a time. We can do it anywhere in the world. We can do it Skype, phone, whatever works. If you'd like a little one-on-one time with me, let me know. And while on the website, check out some of the past radio shows, as well as I have videos on there of past classes I did. So full classes for free, full intro classes. So, 1 to 2 hour classes on Right Body for You, SoundCloud bites, YouTube videos, products. I have teleseries from past classes if you would like to check those out and buy a few of those. If they would contribute, get immediate downloads, so you buy them, you get them. Easy as that. I like ease, and I hope you do too. All right, so if I did have any feelings or emotions about this, we'll become aware of. Try it out, see how it contributes to in your life, and make it a fun week, a happy week. Enjoy your body because it's enjoying you, and I hope to see you back here again next week because guess what? I'll be here. And until then, have fun. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you and your body will join us. Until then, have fun.